If you want me to touch you, show me your tits. That is a real line from this book, from this fantasy novel. And that pretty much sums up my feelings on it as well. The Wicked Sea. Man, I wanted to love this so much because I'll give credit where it's due. This is one of the prettiest books I own. And I was really hoping for a mermaidy, fantastical time. And I got, I think, one of the cringiest spice scenes I have ever read in a book of all time. This book is about a mermaid named Zephyra, and she lives in a land where mermaids are hunted by humans, and she's part of this sort of mock heist group trying to get jewels so she can run away and hide. But they get caught by our warlock MMC Arian. Because Arian is dying because of the specific magic inside of his heart, he struck a reluctant deal to search for this heart of the sea that holds this all-powerful magic so Zephyra can go off and finally have her freedom, and Arian can save himself from death. I'll say this started off as true enemies to lovers. I myself did not like Arian for a while. I had to come around to him. There's also a forced bond trope in here, which I actually usually like and was good for a little bit, though their enemies to lovers then slowly turn to lust because of their bond. So, you know, I feel like if you're gonna do enemies to lovers, just commit. Don't force them to be attracted to each other because of their forced bond. And the last thing I'll say about the good is that overall, the mermaidy, fantastical vibes were good. But let me say this, if you're not into gore or horror of any sort, this might not be for you. The first few chapters of this book are extremely gory and just very intense. I don't mind it because I read a lot of horror and thriller, but if you're a romance-only girl and you're not into that, this might not be for you. There's very graphic, brutal descriptions of murder in this book. And one of the main critiques I have outside of the spice is that there are a lot of plot holes and things that just don't make sense in this book. It feels like the author wrote this book in sections and then not go back to check her own work and close the loop. One example is that in the prologue, our warlock Arian is able to take down 3 sirens who are all singing because he's immune to their siren song. Then a week later in this timeline, he's able to be lured by 1 siren who's singing her song. And we get little to no explanation onto why he's suddenly susceptible to siren singing, even though he took down 3 of like the most badass sirens in the prologue. Also, the ending fell flat for me. There's a big reveal about the FMC and her history and background that had literally no setup the entire book. I need setup, I need world building, and there's just little to none in this book. Now let's talk about the full chapter on-page spice scene in this book, which I love on page full spice. If you want me to touch you, show me your tits was the first strike. Second was the warlock talking about how proud he is to have 11 inches. Embarrassing. The third, fourth, and fifth strike was just how little chemistry the author wrote these characters. There was a decent amount of tension, and yet when it comes together, it just falls apart. It started off somewhat promising, but then the last half just completely goes off the rails, and the overall execution fell flat. Let me know if you've read The Wicked Sea and what you thought of it. For me, this just did not hit.